What's your biggest flex that you'll never tell anyone? I was quoted on some literary website one time for something I said off the cuff in an argument. I also got to play a few shows with some of my favorite bands of all time, but I'm so far removed from that music scene now that no one I know would ever care about it except for me. I'm kind of in the same boat. I produced music for like 15 years, signed to 7 different labels and have headline shows. No one I hang out with now has any idea. My job is a remote monitoring gig where we work 12-hour shifts for weeks at a time. There's always 3 of us in the center at any given time, and it can get really slow on the weekends when nobody else is around the office. One of the guys I work with is this really quiet and soft-spoken guy from Colombia. Really nice dude and cool to talk to, but just doesn't really ever say anything to anybody unless you initiate the conversation. I knew he was into music and played guitar from some of our prior conversations, so I brought one into the office one weekend to keep us entertained when things get slow. Well, turns out this dude is like really effing good at guitar. Like so good that he makes a campfire guitarist like me feel embarrassed for having the audacity to own such an instrument. He had always said stuff like I play some guitar in my free time when I would ask what he did during his time off. Well, we start talking more about it and he finally drops the "oh well, I played in a band for a little while in my younger days." Then I get we were actually a pretty popular metal band in Colombia for a while, and then ask him how many people came to their shows. "Oh, I don't know. I think some of the arenas and stadiums held like 60K. Like bro, you can't casually tell people, "oh, I dabble in guitar in my free time," when the truth is I'm a metal god that sold out stadiums across South America for years. Granted, that was in his 20s and now he's in his 40s with a normal white-collar career and a wife and kids. But still. Edit. To everyone asking the band name, I don't remember what it was because it's not really my style of music. I had never heard of them and don't listen to metal at all. I'll ask him next time I see him, but we're not scheduled to work together again until February. He was the lead guitarist and they were most popular in the early 2000s. Think he moved to the States in 2005 after the band shut down. I bought some then relatively worthless Apple stock because I thought I'd be able to eBay the stock certificate with the rainbow Apple logo when the company went out of business. My investment guy just thinks I'm really clever. I've not corrected him. Do you have a picture of the certificate to post? I like looking at older certificates. Not too long ago somebody posted one of Disney. Wish they still did that. I too like looking at certificates, but only in person. If could mail it to me, that would be great. Till eBay is older than Apple stocks have been valuable. I am on the top page of the high scores for room crafting in the game Old School RuneScape. Edit. Since my comment made it to our /2007 scape. If any mods from our /2007 scape see this comment, please unban me from the subreddit. Reddit link. How did you have time to write this comment? Shouldn't you be grinding? I have a friend who plays RS on multiple accounts. I once saw him playing 4 RS games at once, while playing a completely different game on another screen, and, if I recall correctly, browsing Reddit on the third. I believe he's getting an ADHD test soon. I was in the grocery store and saw an older woman standing in the aisle comparing what was in her cart to what was in her wallet, obviously counting to see if she could afford everything. Based on her body language as she walked away, I could tell that the answer was no. So I took a 20 out and walked up to her and said, "Ma'am, when you were over there just a second ago, this fell out of your wallet." I handed her the bill, and just walked away so she wouldn't be embarrassed if she figured out I was lying. I did hear her say thank you, so I half turned and told her, "You're welcome, have a nice night." It was only $20, but I think it made a difference to her, and that felt amazing. Good on you. I was waiting in line at a cashier last year where the woman in front of me saw her card being declined while paying. She told the cashier she was going to her car and coming back. I just paid her bill while she was out and came across her going back in as I was leaving the store. You can tell when people are going through hardship at times, and little things like this actually makes me think if more people helped each other like this, there'd still be hope for humanity. I raised $100,000 for a scholarship fund in the memory of my deceased twin brother. Since that time we've given away over 200 scholarships. I'm sorry about your brother, but it's amazing you were able to help so many people. In my public speaking class, I had to give a speech on procrastination. I wrote the speech an hour before class. In my feedback notes, I was told I had great preparation. The expert. This reminds me that for our final speech in my public speaking class in college, we had to hit the 3-minute mark to get full points for length. I wrote a fake graduation speech the night before that was consistently 30 seconds too short, but otherwise pretty good. So I got to class early before the professor on the first day of speeches and told everyone who was there that I would volunteer to go first if they clapped like hell the first time I said a year in my speech. I wanted them to do it so that my speech would run long, and the longer mine ran, the fewer people had to give their speech that day, so it was a win-win. Professor came in about 30 seconds before class started, as usual, and was totally oblivious. I volunteered to go first, got up and started my speech, and made a point of drawing out "and welcome to the class of 1998. I was half convinced it wouldn't work at all, but oh my god, did it turn out beautifully. The class erupted in cheers and applause, and I felt like I'd just won $1 million. The professor was so startled that he almost fell out of his seat, and it was a solid 1 to 2 minutes of cheering, which is a long time, before he got everyone to shut up and let me finish the speech. I ended up getting a 98 on the speech and had several people try and copy the cheers, with varying degrees of success. It sounds fake as hell half the times I try to tell it, but definitely one of my favorite memories from college. The most believable and then everyone claps story I've read so far. The beginning of my English course one year, our teacher told us that we needed to put in the work and spread it out over the deadlines because you can't write a beautiful essay the night before it's due. I did our final project the night before it was due, got 96%, and told the teacher I'd done it all the night before. Smiley face, she was a good teacher though, thanks Janet. That's hilarious. I discovered, verified, and reported a critical security flaw in a U.S. Army computer system, which was then quickly patched. Seems especially relevant these days, though it was over a year ago. For future reference, on the off chance that you ever find something similar, DoD actually has a HackerOne page. Web link. Discovers critical security flaw in U.S. Army computer system. Government, 1 thanks received. Korean here. Please go on. Of course I'm from the South. So please go on? Must be nice. I discovered a senior master sergeant making false entries and fraudulent purchases and reported it. My report went nowhere and he retired before OC finally came to me for the details. I keep light-up Skechers under my bed to walk around the house at night. You genius. Design some light-up slippers. Bundle it with a light-up toilet seat. You're the next Bezos. Relax and make some popcorn. Had a class where the professor was pissed that everyone did really bad on an essay and was yelling at the class. He said that aside from one person who got a 97%, he was disappointed with everyone there. I had the 97%. Similar thing happened to me in an English class junior year of high school. Assigned some book, maybe To Kill a Mockingbird? And I read it like 5 times before the exam. Teacher said that he curved it to the highest score and no one had ever gotten a 100% in all his years of having the test. Just before he started passing the test back, he asked me how many times I read the book. I was shy and quiet in high school, so having every eye on me sucked. But anyways, he said he was impressed and I ended up getting extra credit on it because he curved it to the next highest score. I never get bored. Ever. It's a useful superpower when I'm stuck in certain situations. I'm never interested. Edit. My first awards and highest rated comment ever is about not being interesting in anything is so on brand for me. I have depression, too. Is it possible to learn this power? Yes, and I mean this very seriously. Be conscious of your thoughts you have in any moment. Notice if you are actively rejecting the present moment. By this I mean thinking this is boring or I don't want to do this. Remind yourself that all you have is this moment right now, and this is the only time that exists, so you might as well enjoy it or at least accept it. Try to keep your mind completely in the present, with no thoughts. Realize that you decide whether you enjoy this moment or not the situation. The voice in your head that constantly wants and desires is your ego, which is not you. You are not your thoughts, and you are what is aware of them. I could go in more depth, but this is already long enough. Hopefully it's helpful. I saw Elton John in Vegas. Red Piano Tour. During Benny and the Jets, I can whistle extremely loudly. I nailed the whistle part that is on live version of the song that plays on the radio. He smiled. I saw him live once while he unfortunately was battling a bad flu. Still sounded effing amazing though, and at one point he turned around to throw up in a bucket behind the piano. We were in the seats sort of behind the stage, supposed to be the cheap seats, but he always turned around and acknowledged us, so it was great, and just cheered as loud as we could to show support, and he laughed and put his finger up to his mouth as if to say, "Shh. It's a secret." Mad props to him for still performing even though he was sick enough to throw up. Considering his massive drug phase across the 70s/80s, I'm certain it wasn't his first time performing under such circumstances. Sometimes when I'm flying over the Alps I think, that's like all the cocaine I sniffed. Elton. Effing sucks. I once made a cool piece of art, and a friend posted it to Reddit, and it ended up making it into the game. My friend got all the credit, and to this day I've been wanting that item I designed. That was like 6 years ago, so I don't blame your salt. Edit. Damn, I got more recognition in this post than I ever did for the original thing. I don't mean for this to turn into a post-award speech, but my salt is more satisfied now. Thanks Reddit. At one point I could sing along perfectly to "We Didn't Start the Fire." I still know most of the words, but I'm always so embarrassed to sing in front of other people, lol. Not even Billy Joel remembers the lyrics, lol. He's admitted to needing a lyrics binder when he plays it live. I have a no-gag reflex, this will go to my grave. Married man with 3 kids. How did you find out? It was just a phase. We don't talk about that. You had a sexy phase? In the 60s, I made love to many, many women. Often outdoors. In the mud and the rain. And it's possible a man slipped in. There would be no way of knowing. That is Northern Lights, cannabis indicia. Sigh no, that's marijuana. You know, you could probably supplement your income online with a webcam and an assortment of longitudinally impressive legumes. I have enough old, valuable Magic the Gathering cards to buy a car. A new, really nice car. I don't tell anyone in real life because they're from when I was young and collected them, and my current social circle would think it's kid/nerd stuff and wouldn't understand. Doesn't get me down, though. Current plan is to hold on to them until they go up enough over time to match my mortgage balance, then use them to pay off my house. Edit. I appreciate all the comments. I currently actively keep up with the MTG market, and am a pretty close follower of the /mfinance sub. As far as the makeup of the cards, RL cards, mostly from 93/94, and complete sets from Orz's block and earlier. Consider a safety deposit box. Floods, fires, mold, etc. can really kill your valuables. Edit. Thanks for the silver and other awards, kind strangers. They are in a safe location. I lived with my grandparents my whole life, who lived in a small little house across the street from a big fancy neighborhood development. They lived in the same house for 40 years before the development. It was a very bad hill on a busy road with the neighborhood entrance at the bottom of the hill, which was across the street from our house. Me and my grandpa would pull people out of wrecks all the time. Saved a bunch of lives, but sadly saw over 10 people die on that hill growing up. The big fancy people in that neighborhood would always bring us food and gifts. They called my grandpa the gatekeeper. I ran over a half marathon at night for 5 months every day. I shouldn't be proud because that was my lowest point mentally, but I was. Ada, Jesus, I went to sleep and woke up to 80 notifications. Thanks. I wanted to add that it was because of an obsession with exercise, for those who were confused as to why I don't want to be proud of it. It wasn't healthy and effed up my body for a little while. You sound like a close friend of mine that does a lot of night running due to insomnia. I wish my insomnia made me active, damn. Paid off $40,000 in debt during quarantine due to no more daycare costs for 3 kids, and better paying job for the wife. Also dropped body fat from 14% to 7%, using my ghetto-ass home gym while everyone was complaining about the quarantine. 15. Went from having one family meal a week to almost daily. I don't tell anyone this obviously because there are people going through tough times, especially family and close friends, and I can empathize with that as it hasn't been completely smooth and there were some stressful moments. But I am proud of what my wife and I were able to do in a relatively short amount of time, but haven't shared any of this at the risk of alienating anyone. Congrats on everything, and being a considerate person. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.